It has been 6 years since I've spoken to my mother.
We're no contact with our parents because we have to, not because we want to.
Growing phenomenon known as going no contact.
People are fed up and boundaries have been put in place, even for me. If you're unfamiliar with what going no contact means, it basically means when you've cut your parents off. And personally, I've always thought I was alone on this issue, but more and more people are sharing their own personal experiences online, is that there's a large group of people that are going through this very issue. And recently, Oprah actually highlighted this on her show / podcast, whatever she got going on. She's highlighted this and actually hosted a bunch of different people to share their stories and kind of talk back and forth with the crowd. And there were people who cut off their parents, there were parents who have cut off their children, parents who have been cut off by their kids. There was so much discussion being had, and honestly it's perfect timing because the holidays are around, and for a lot of people, even for me, like, it can be very lonely and depressing, and it's just nice to resonate and connect with other people out there sharing their stories, because this issue, it can be hard on a lot of people. Hell, especially, and we'll get into it later on in this video, but even what I'm personally going through right now with my own mom, and it's a lot. This is gonna be an interesting video. We'll see if I make it through. We will see. But I will say, if you are someone that has a very loving and awesome and great relationship with your parents, good. I'm happy for you and I'm glad you have that, but that is not the case for everybody out there. And I'm going to let you know now, some of the stories that we'll be going through in this video will shock you and it'll even make you wonder, like, damn, I didn't even know a parent can act like this or do this. Because truly, for most people, going no contact with your parents, that's the last resort. While yes, we've discussed this, there are some people cutting off their family because of politics. That's rare. What we're talking about in this video is years, decades worth of trauma and abuse and neglect, and it's sad. And in this video, we're gonna be going through exactly that. We're gonna go through several videos of people sharing their own stories about going no contact with their parents, and even my own, and how I basically don't have a relationship with either. So that being said, thank you for your time. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe, and let's dive right into this video.
You now are estranged from your biological father.
Yes.
Why? Can we ask?
I say it's a million cuts that bled me dry. And I could give you one reason, but I think that it wouldn't reflect the entirety of the situation. And I think that someone would judge that one situation and say that wasn't enough of a reason. And in reality, it wasn't just that. It was a million things before that.
That is so common. There's a lot of people even that I meet in real life and we have these conversations, and it's hard to conceptualize all the things that have gone on in my own life with my mother. And when you take into account the whole grand scheme of things, it makes sense. But if I tell you this one thing here, it's not gonna add up. And that was beautiful the way she put it. A million cuts that bled me dry. Totally. You can get a bunch of paper cuts, and if they bleed enough, you got enough of them, you will die, but it's die by paper cut, you know? So it can vary, but that's the other thing too, you don't really know people's story. And there's many reasons people go no contact, but the largest part that we're gonna go through in this video, before a large group of people, it's a very serious matter. There's years and years worth of trauma, of conversations and talks, and it just compiles and compiles and compiles, where it's just like, you know what? I've had enough. I have to remove myself from this situation. For people out there, sometimes it isn't just this one moment. It's not this one fight, this one thing. No, it's the whole picture, years worth of stuff going on, all these little cuts, little comments, little jabs here and there, where it's like, you know what, F it. You're draining me of my energy, my time, my emotions, and it hurts. And it's gotten to the point where a lot of people are saying, you know what, F it. Enough is enough. And I will say, Oprah has been getting a lot of flack for, this is Oprah's show, Oprah's been getting a lot of flack for hosting this and calling it a trend. I'll give her a little grace and say that for me, when maybe it's because I work, you know, I do YouTube and I do social media full time, I hear trend. And for the most part, in this context of like what we're talking about, when I hear that it's a trend, I think it's more of a trend for people to share their stories. That's been on the rise. There has been a trend of people sharing their stories, highlighting what they're going through and connecting with other people. What's not been the trend is people actively doing it. People have been cutting off their parents. And this isn't just like a fad. I think if she said it's a fad, that's a little different. But to say it's a trend, it is trending upward of people sharing their stories. I'll say that, but I definitely don't think it's just a little fad.
Hello, happy late Thanksgiving, everyone. I really want to make a video talking about the recent Oprah podcast episode that I was a guest on, talking about going no contact. I wanted to give myself a couple days to really gather my thoughts because I fully blacked out being there in person. They referred to going no contact as a trend, which upset a lot of people, rightfully so. Going no contact is not like doing the Harlem Shake. It is not you wake up one day and decide, oh, I'm going to cut off my family because my best friend cut off her mom 2 weeks ago. So like I said in the podcast, I knew at an early age I was not going to have a close, loving relationship with my parents. I would sit in my closet crying, asking God, the universe, whoever would listen, why was I born into a family if my parents don't love me? I would sit and cry and be like, I just need to grow up. I just need to turn 18 years old so I can move out and get out of here. I just didn't have the word no contact to fit into that.
Oh my gosh. This is one of the beauties about social media that I truly love, because you're able to share stories, you're able to connect with other people, and I resonate with that so heavy. Not having a father in my life, he's a bum. By definition, the man's a bum in the streets of Chicago. My mother is just extremely just as toxic, verbally abusive. Some points, it's a much. And there have definitely been times when I was in middle school. I remember these moments vivid and clear as day where I was like, you know what? I don't see myself having a relationship with this woman when I'm grown. If I'm a child now and I don't really have a relationship with you, the way you're treating me is not okay. The way we're talking is not okay. How I'm feeling is not okay. At that age, middle school, high school, what makes you think as an adult we're gonna be friends? We're gonna be talking. If I can't look to you for guidance, for support, for love, for advice as a kid, what does that do to me now as a grown adult and like actively growing up in my 20s? There's people out there like this, like her, like me, that felt this way. Hell, I bet there's some even in elementary school. But I know for me, for sure, middle school, there's been many times it's crying in my room. Just like, you know what? I don't know how we got here. I know I don't want to be here. I know it's upsetting not having parents, not having that relationship, but damn, I am holding on to when I'm grown. I'm holding on to when I'm independent. I'm holding on to when I'm able to provide for myself, so that I know I always got me. And I know, and it kept me going knowing that that time in my life was temporary. But again, I've made videos talking about why some people are cutting off their friends and family over politics. That's light work. It's happening. You know, with some liberals, it's there. But this stuff, you know, I'm talking on a whole nother playing field. And I'm glad it's a discussion that more and more people are being open to have.
I'm able to appreciate how there were so many different perspectives when it came to the experts, the children, the parents. But it was extremely triggering to be a child who cut off my family, hearing one of the parents say things like, well, my other children still talk to me, when each child has such different lived experiences. Both my sisters didn't go through the things I went through.
I was just talking about this with my sister on the phone yesterday. I understand from her perspective too, it can be a little hurtful that she doesn't have the mom that I have. She doesn't have the dad that I have. Like, we are 6 years apart. So she grew up, when she was 6, I was born. My family shit really hit the fan when I was like 4 or 5. So that puts her, you know, through her prime elementary, middle school ages, and I was a child. She had a whole different version of my mother, a whole different version of my father that I never met, I never connected with, that I don't know. We quite literally have different parents, even though they're the same. And I feel like that's the way for a lot of children out there. Different children have different experiences with their parents, especially if there's different ages involved. And that'd be another great video that I should really look into doing and highlight, you know, the different perspectives of people sharing that, the age gaps in different families, and how that dynamic has played into how, you know, your relationship with your parents has turned out. That's a huge one. But yeah, you know, I feel bad that, you know, we all can't come together as a family. You know, she still talks to them and I don't. But I can respect and I understand that she had a whole different version of them than I got. And it's unfortunate, but I'm glad she understands the version that I got. It ain't good. I'm glad she can see my perspective and respect that. But such a great point that not a lot of people bring up. But we do have different versions of parents.
It has been 6 years since I've spoken to my mother. 6. And going no contact has been honestly one of the most peaceful and one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. And through my healing, I have learned these 3 things about myself that honestly explain why I picked certain type of people in relationships, why I have gravitated towards certain friendships. And the first one with growing up with a narcissistic abusive parent is I learned that if I couldn't trust my own parent to not hurt me, then I couldn't trust anybody. And I have lived my life with a deep, deep, deep betrayal wound. Walked around for most of my life scanning every environment, being hyper vigilant to the people around me, trying to figure out everybody's ulterior motives. Subconsciously, I truly was rooted in the belief that if I couldn't trust my own parent to be a safe emotional place, how could I trust anybody else?
Then I can't trust anybody. If I can't trust my own parents to be parent, how the hell am I supposed to trust anybody else out there? And that took a lot for me to break through. That took a lot for me to just accept being loved, to accept loving friendships, to not think that everybody out there is going to betray me, is going to hurt me, and live life with my walls up. I was only doing that because I felt like, damn, if the people that's supposed to be there, the people that are supposed to be giving me guidance, love, pouring into me, and they aren't there. Shit, now I look at the whole different world different now. Now I'm looking at everything different. Now I'm analyzing everything. Now I think there's an ulterior motive for everyone. It's a lot to break through. I totally can see how that can happen to many other people out there.
Twisted way. This type of betrayal wound led me to the exact people who betrayed me. And the second thing that I have really come to understand is I also have a deep wound of feeling defective. One amazing thing about my mother is she is hospitable to anybody in need, right? We grew up with Thanksgivings being our house full of everybody who didn't have a family. Meanwhile, her actual family were being abused and mistreated, and it was just such a hostile environment when nobody was around. Like, I used to wonder and almost resent these people because I'm like, why do you guys get the best version of my mother, but we get the worst? And it made me feel defective.
Oh my, this video is a damn near a therapy session. Shit. Put in the comments if you've gone through this, if you relate to this too, because that is so accurate. Because there's so many people out there that have so many like aunts and cousins that are genuinely shocked and surprised when I tell them the stories of what I've gone through and the things some of my mother has said to me. They're dumbfounded because they do get the best version of her, and I just get the crazy side. And it's like, damn, am I wrong? Am I a bad person? Why are we spending this whole year fighting, arguing, just visceral, just like not getting along? But then the holidays, it's very merry. Christmas Eve, we're at food shelters handing out food. Like, we're actively giving away and have the biggest heart, which I'm not knocking. It wasn't reflective inside our own home. That's the crazy part to me. This crazy.
And so I have lived life feeling like I have this need to prove myself of my worth, and this deep wound of like, why me? Why can't I be loved? Most importantly, the third thing that I've learned about myself growing up with a narcissistic parent is I wanted to be nothing like her, and I was repeating all of her patterns. You have to fight like mother effing hell to stop the patterns that you grew up with, that you normalized throughout the years.
You gotta stop. There's some things that linger on. I'm like, damn, that's probably what my mama would do, probably what my daddy would do. But in large part, that's the one I probably don't relate with the most, because I vividly can see and identify, oh, I want to be this type of parent. I want to be this type of father. I know exactly what not to do. Vividly. I know for some people out there, they fall right in their parents' footsteps, and you're trying to break that generational curse, and it can be hard. But I think if you put that focus on what not to be, it can make things a little bit easier for you. It can. But this is, if you're not dealing with this is the type of stuff like adult Gen Z and millennials are having to go through and process growing up with narcissistic, verbally abusive, just, Even me, like right now, like I feel bad, you know, like I feel, honestly, being like just so transparent, I feel bad saying that, like bad parent, like I had a bad mom. I feel bad saying that, and I acknowledge her own troubles. I acknowledge that she didn't have a mom. She didn't have a mom, so she don't even know how to be a mama herself. But damn it, at 60, you would think you know what to fix and what to do, and all the beef would drop, and it hasn't. The mental toll that this has on many people out there is a lot. Oh, the mental toll in totality, honestly. You have to be taking care of your mental health. You have to be taking care of yourself, because if you're not, you're just gonna crumble and wither away. Carrying all that tension, carrying all that stress, all that baggage, and not processing it, not working through it, it will do quite a bit of work to you, your mental health and your physical health. It will. But I have to remind you and reassure you that if you are in this place of feeling isolated, feeling alone, just wanting someone to talk to, you're not alone. And that's why I'm more than grateful to have BetterHelp be the sponsor of this video. BetterHelp will connect you with a therapist who can help you find the answers to some of these questions you may be having or facing yourself. Instead of being stuck in this endless loop of second guessing yourself, you can talk through your concerns with someone who's trained to help you find clarity. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire and you'll be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And not just that, but you can switch therapists at no extra cost if the one that you've got paired with is not working out for you. Regardless, they make sure that all the therapists on their platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is always there for you if you need any help. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. BetterHelp accepts both HSA and FSA cards, making it even easier to prioritize your mental health. In 2024 alone, over 137,000 people use their HSA or FSA benefits for therapy through BetterHelp, so be sure to use yours before they expire. Therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. Understanding yourself, learning why you react the way you do, how to set boundaries, how to heal, all of that will shift your life in more ways than you actually realize. Therapy is a tool, not a crutch, and it is a tool that will help you navigate the world in a way that actually works for you. To get started, all you have to do is tap the link below, and that'll take you to betterhelp.com/Amir Odom. And by using that, you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy.
Toxic mothers use manipulation to control you. They'll guilt trip you by saying things like, after all I've done for you, but I'm your mother. They'll play the victim by saying, well, I guess I'm the worst mother in the world then. I guess no one loves me or cares about me. They'll rewrite reality and they'll say things like, that never happened. You're imagining things. You're being too sensitive. And this just leaves you feeling exhausted and guilty, and like no matter what you do, you'll never be good enough. And it keeps you second guessing yourself and walking on eggshells. But here's the truth. Her emotions are her responsibility, not yours. And her approval doesn't define you. You get to define yourself. And loving your mother doesn't mean letting yourself be controlled. And the way to break free is by releasing that sense of responsibility for her emotions and learning to stop caring about what she thinks of you and approving of yourself.
So well said. For one, again, I can't stress this enough. If I'm removing myself from this conversation, this sounds crazy. This sounds wild. There's actually grown adults going through this with their parents. But then the inside looking out, going through this, I'm like, damn, this is so relatable, and I get it. I've heard every single one of those sentences. And it's hard, it's annoying, it's frustrating, and this is why adults are saying, you know what? I'm releasing this. This is your responsibility. I've done everything under the sun to help this, to fix this, offer up different advices and therapies, and just tried my hardest to make this work. I release this. It's off my shoulders, and I've never been, it sucks to say this. It does. It genuinely sucks to say that. I've never been at this much peace. So I don't want to say it. I don't want to admit that. I don't want that. I don't want this. I would love to have a blossoming, fruitful relationship with my mother. The father's a lost cause. They've been gone since I was 5. So he's not a part of this conversation right now. He still ain't doing nothing with his life. He's been living off of sugar mamas and drugs his entire life. Ain't never had a W-2 since he left the family when I was 5, and I'm 30. So we're not talking about that man. Mother, however, a little bit different story. And for both of them, I will say, bringing him back in, for both my mother and my father, I have released that the pain. Like, yeah, there's still some things hurt that I'm still processing through, but in terms of like missing them, I mourn what they could have been. When I'm looking around on my friends' parents and other parents, I'm like, damn, that's what I want to be. That's a really good mom. That's a really good father. I miss that. But current day 2025, looking at them, I understand. I've processed why they are the way they are. I get it. I've done what I could do out my life, And it sucks that it's better. And it sucks that, you know, this is not a fad. If it is, it's a hurtful one. This is something that a lot of people relate with, you guys. And I'm sure there's a lot of you out there right now that either relate with this video too, or be looking at this like, damn, this low-key makes sense now, like thinking about a friend or a different family member. Or you're someone that's just like mind blown by all this. I don't know. But these stories are in the millions and millions and millions of views. Because it's real. Because it hurts. Because it's toxic, because it's dealing with narcissistic parents. And when you hear that there is this rise of Gen Z millennials talking about cutting off their parents, going no contact with their parents, in large part, outside of little politics the last like 2-3 years, it's some deep shit. It's real and it's there.
Nobody talks about grieving the mother you wish you had. There's a heartbreak that goes along with having a mother who can't be there for you, who isn't consistent, connected, or mature. And as you get older, you realize you raised yourself and you still have to do everything alone. She's never been there for you in healthy ways or in the ways that you've needed. And you get this deep feeling of rage.
Nicole, can we not? Jesus. This is Dr. Nicole LaParrot. She's amazing. Friend of mine, love her. Love her, great books.
Whenever you think of her or hear from her. And underneath that rage is actually grief and sadness. Because having a mother who's alive, but who can't mother you is one of the most painful things a person can experience. And some of you have had to cut her out of your life because you can't have that relationship for your emotional health or for the emotional health of your family. And this is so taboo in society. And it comes with a stigma, with a lot of people saying things like, well, she's your mother, without understanding that not everyone behaves like a mother.
There are so many people out there, and I talk about this when we talk about two-parent households, and the statistics are that yes, if you have an actual mother and father, you do great. But there are a lot of people out there who are in a two-parent household with a mother and a father, but no mom and dad. There's a lot of people out there that was raised in a two-parent home, and their father was at home most of their life, but they never had a dad. There's people that grew up with a mother that provided, made sure the kids were fed, but they weren't a mom. That exists, and it is a different beast. It is a different beast, mourning someone that's alive. And on one end, like I can even like push back on myself and be like, hey, well, that's your fault for mourning someone you wish they were. But on the other side, it's like, sorry for wanting a mom. Sorry for wanting a dad. Like, it's crazy, like having a mother and a father, but not a mom and a dad. It's the weirdest feeling. And then cutting them out and like mourning them while they're alive. And you randomly get the paragraph text messages of just like grilling you of how hurtful it is for them. And it's like, I understand this is hurtful for you now, but did you not take into account how hurtful it was growing up? The relationship we have now is a direct reflection of the relationship that we had growing up. And not even that, because as an adult, I've done my best to reconcile that, understand it, unpack it, learn family history, family traumas, done the work. And sometimes the work, it doesn't see itself through. It just doesn't. And it hurts for a lot of people out there. And it's uncomfortable for a lot of people out there. It's why these stories resonate so much for people. And it's why I highlight it. Because not only is it fascinating, it's personal. It is. And I'm open with my audience. I'm very honored. I'm glad to have you guys here. I'm very transparent about my life and the things that I've gone through and all the trauma that have come my way, because this is a community here. Even if you aren't subscribed right now, which you should subscribe, hello. But if you aren't subscribed, welcome to the fam. My name's Amir Odom and we're here chilling. You know, we here commentating, chatting, talking about these topics, and you know, some of them get really deep, really personal. And then like to have that gone and to like mourn someone that's alive, it's crazy. It's such a weird feeling. And then the holidays, Mother's Day and Father's Day, the most awkward holidays of growing up my entire life. Awkward. Especially later on in life for me with Mother's Day. Mother's Day wasn't that bad when I was a kid. It was like more so when I was like a teenager, especially as an adult. No. It's why on this channel, what you'll find, and going forward, I'm including Mother's Day and Father's Day. I will be doing a live stream every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, every Mother's Day, every Father's Day. So those are the 4 holidays that stress me the hell out. Those are the 4 holidays that I've had a lot of personal battles with, and a lot of alone time with. And I know, I don't care if there's just one person on that live stream. I know there is someone watching this video right now or listening to this video right now where those 4 holidays, 1, 2, 3, or all 4 of them, bring you stress, bring you anxiety, bring you hurt, bring you pain, bring you trauma, just bring you hurt. And you're not alone going through that. This is not, you're not alone. You're not. And I know it can be hard going through it, but it's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck there. You will survive. As I'm like psychoanalyzing myself and I'm getting all guarded up and tense because I'm just like, oh, this topic. But yeah, it's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck there. You will survive. It is a season and it will pass. And yes, it gets hard. Yes, it's actively going through it is weird. But really, like, I want this video to like comfort those going through it and highlight those for others that this is a very serious thing for a good chunk of people out there, and it is awkward and it's painful and it's weird and it's just ugh. But at most, it's real.
Guilt tripping your adult children into having a close relationship with you that you didn't build with them when they were children is unfair and borderline abusive.
Yes, the guilt tripping adult children for not having a relationship with you as the parent when you didn't have one growing up, it's crazy. The amount, it's been going on for years, honestly, years. The amount of guilt tripping text that hurt. I mean, it's guilt tripping. I don't get guilty. Like, I'm a kid. I'm not a kid, but like, I'm in the 20s. It hurts. It's hard doing this. It's hard, like, processing, like, on one end, like, am I being dramatic? And on the other end, like, no, I'm actually very much at peace. And what I was dealing with is actually not okay and not normal. But then like you get a text from mom and it's just like railing you. It's like, oh my gosh. It's the most just unsettling thing. And it's not fair.
Contact with our parents because we have to, not because we want to. Let me cook. There's a lot of controversy around people that go no contact with their parents. And I really feel some kind of way about that. Nothing irritates me more than somebody saying, you only have one mother. You need to love, honor, and respect her.
The amount of times I've been told, this is why I don't tell people my business anymore. I'll tell y'all. And it's easy to tell y'all, especially like in this way, because I'm alone in my room. And we can talk in the comments, but we're not talking back and forth immediately. Maybe in a live chat we are. But you get what I'm saying. When I'm in person talking to somebody, or like other family members or my in-laws, I'm like, yeah, don't tell my mom, yeah. I get met with this, but it's still your mother. Supposed to honor her, protect her, always be there for her. If she was a mother, yes. If I had a mom, yeah. But like, no, you didn't do anything to deserve that. I hate saying that. It feels so nasty. I hate it. It hurts. I'm thankful for the providing. I'm thankful for the fighting through, because she went through hell and back. That woman been through hell and back. Hell and back. And I thankful for the providing and fighting through your own battles to make sure that I had food. But there's more to being a mother than that. Like, I didn't ask to be born and like you just fight to provide the bare necessities. It's more, it's way more than that. And it's why there's no relationship there, because we never had one. I feel like we were roommates all of high school. Majority middle school.
It doesn't matter if you were abused. It doesn't matter if they put other people before you. It doesn't matter that you had a very traumatic childhood that you have to grow up and heal from. You should still love and honor them no matter what harm they've done to you mentally, physically, spiritually.
No.
So here's my translation for the old folk that love to tell me that bullshit. No matter what they've done to you, you continue the generational curse by pretending like the shit that they've done to you never happened. Just keep loving them. Just keep talking to them. Just keep not holding them accountable. Listen, it's 2025 and nobody is about to sit around and beg their parents, mom, dad, grandmother, granddaddy, whoever raised you, to go to therapy, to take accountability, to be a good parent.
I'm not gonna beg you. I'll talk about it with you. We can discuss it. We can fix it. We can work on it together. But after enough, no, we're grown. We are grown. I ain't begging nobody. I'm not going through all this rigmarole. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Nobody's about to sit around here, continue to let you do the bullshit that you do and not hold you accountable for it. The way that I choose to hold my parent accountable is to simply leave that person the hell alone. They don't want anything to do with me. They don't want anything to do with my kids. Okay, no big deal at all. Some of us have already experienced the death of a parent that is still alive. We've been mourning our whole lives. We have already cried a million tears. We have already tried a million times to reconcile. Trust me when I say we have already given a million chances for that parent to get their shit together. And when they still choose to stay the same, we gotta cut ties.
That's too real. Talked about it before earlier on in this video. Mourning a parent that's still alive. You've done everything you can to make this work, and it's just not working. All you can do is step away. That's all you can do, because it hurts. But we are in this age where we holding these parents accountable. We are. And I'm saying we so much. Normally I'm commentating like on the topic. I'm in this topic. I'm in this, like, right? Oh my gosh, you guys. It's been, the past few months have been a little chaotic. On the back end, we're getting through it. We are. Damn.
And again, that's okay. I'm not mad at all. My whole point is to stop coming to people like me that are no contact with their parents and assuming you know the story and telling us how we should handle the situation in the most respectful way. You show me you don't care about me, I will respectfully leave you alone. Millennials are holding their parents accountable, and it is what the fuck it is. It could all be so simple, but it never really is for them.
It's not. And that's what this whole video is about and trying to highlight and show. Gen Z millennials are holding these parents accountable, you guys. They are. Enough is enough. And like Oprah's podcast, it was a really good podcast. You should give it a watch if you haven't. Highlighting all the different stories of the different adults that have gone no contact with their parents, cut off their parents, and there were some adults sharing their stories too. But I don't want to conflate the two. The little tiny rise, the trend of cutting your family and friends off over politics, that's separate. This right here, again, no. Like, this is childhood, this is deep shit. This is childhood shit, you guys, that people are fighting through and working through day in and day out. And there's a group of millennials and Gen Z that has said enough is enough. I'm holding you accountable. And holding you accountable is setting our boundaries in place, maintaining my peace, and keeping it pushing. Because now that I'm fully independent, at this point, the only relationship that's there is a relationship that was built or that was there during your childhood, during your adolescence and your young adult ages. And for personally me, and I know a lot of people that have gone through this video, it was never there. So it's just a reflection of that. And even then, more often than not, the Gen Z and the millennials, they have tried everything they could to repair it, because we know what we can do. You know, this is a generation of therapy and talking things out and sharing stories and figuring out what we can do. A lot of us have done the work, tried to do the work, and it's just not received. So you know what? Enough is enough. Done. And I want to know, are you done too? Let me know in the comments. Is this something that you're actively going through? Is this something that you did? Are you a parent that's been cut off? Are you a parent that cut their child off? Or are you just someone like me that has cut off their parents? Let's actively share the stories in the comments below. I will love to read some of them. Give tips. Please give tips to other people on how they can fight through this. Any advice you have for those that have gone through this. Because it's tough. It's hard work. It is. But regardless, like I mentioned earlier in this video, it's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck there. You will survive. Outside the family trauma, the mothers, the fathers, and how hurtful that can be, and mourning someone someone alive. Outside of all that, whatever is going on in your life right now, it will pass. It's called going through it for a reason. You're not stuck there. Family drama, friendship drama, health related problems, work, different goals, whatever it may be. You, whether you're listening or you're watching, you're gonna be okay. And it will pass. But you have to hold on. You do. You can't give up on yourself. You can't. You can't. At the end of the day, it's that motherfucker with them shoes standing. It's the person looking back at you in that mirror. So what are you gonna do? Make a plan, move forward, and go about your day. So that being said, I love y'all a ton. I hope this video has been insightful. I will work on another video talking about the gender age gaps and how children have different parents, even though they're the same parent. If you have the different age gaps or 3 boys, 1 girl, like just the different parent-child relationships within a family, very interesting, very interesting. So keep an eye out for that. Be sure to subscribe. Again, outside of this, if you want to hear me talk about a topic or you have an idea you want me to talk about, be sure to drop a cloud emoji and then the topic idea. That way I can filter through all the comments and see exactly what you want me to see. So that being said, I love you guys a ton and I will catch you in the next video. Deuces.